have no idea what it means to be alone.
Why are you saying that?
Because you're annoying.
Okay, so where do I even start? Everybody knows that Sakura is pretty much utterly useless for the most part. There is no debating that, of course. I mean, don't get me wrong, she has proved herself somewhat useful, but far and few in between. Like, I think she beats that puppet guy. She's a pretty good medic, and at the end there, she kind of saves Naruto, which is cool, but yeah, moving on. On the flip side, she kind of proves to be an extremely insecure and even very boring person. Let's be real with ourselves. She quote-unquote likes Sasuke for his looks, and for the entire series this is the case after he's completely turned evil. And at that point, it's just so fucking silly. It's not like they even had any chemistry. In fact, if I remember correctly, it was the complete opposite. And, you know, I actually feel pretty bad for Sasuke. Like, just leave the poor man alone. Just get a fucking hint, for God's sakes. And poor Rock Lee too. He gets rejected for his looks alone. Alright, a little bit off topic there, but nevertheless, it's still pretty obvious that you can't compare it to Naruto and Sasuke, especially towards the end of the show. They can't stand on the similar levels. And look, that's completely fine. I think some of the best characters aren't even that powerful at all. I mean, look at Speedwagon. The issue is she overestimates herself to like this unreasonable degree, and it often jeopardizes everything else. And it's not even for like a humble reason. Prime example, she knocks everybody out to take Sasuke on one-on-one. I'm sorry, but how fucking dare you? You disrespect Sasuke and scum your friends. And like I showed you earlier, she lies to Naruto. For what? A false sense of pride and to get saved by Naruto again? Cut me a fucking break. Not only is she useless, Sakura has such a terrible, shitty personality. And like I mentioned earlier, nothing wrong with being physically weak. It is certainly not a deal breaker. In fact, I think it could benefit a character. Sometimes they use it in a positive way. They use their weaknesses as their strengths. But in order for this to be the case, these characters need to be interesting. They need to have good, fascinating backstories to build them up. To have us already be on their side and egg them on. Now think about this now. What is Sakura's backstory? I honestly just don't know. Like seriously, someone tell me in the comments, like, who are her parents? What's really her past? We don't get much of anything about her compared to Naruto and Sasuke, that is. They get so much character development. We get to see their past, we get to see their parents, their families, their clan legacy, all that stuff. Sakura, nothing. Dude, I think we know more about other minor characters than her. It's actually kind of mind-blowing, dude. I know more about Choji's backstory than her. Why? She's one of the main 3 characters and she barely gets any good screen on time. At this point, this isn't even the case of her being useless. It's the case that she's not even an interesting character in the first place, and anything that she tries to do makes her look worse. I think the most disappointing thing in all this is there could have been really great, solid character development. The potential was really there, and I'm not just saying that. But unfortunately, that never happens. By the end of it all, there's not this before and after. And I think the most disappointing thing is the very end. I mean, like, before the Naruto and Sasuke fight near the end of Shippuden, she cries like a fucking bitch just for Sasuke to calm down. It's just super disappointing. I think it would have been really nice if, I don't know, it just feels like she goes back to square one, crying all over again, just like she did in the original series when Sasuke left the Hidden Leaf Village. Overall, it's just really sad because there's so many other great examples of this similar character type that evolve in meaningful ways as the story progresses. I'm gonna use One Piece as an example because that's what I've been watching recently, and it's kind of very eerie, but literally as I was watching this episode, it had pretty decent relation with the video topic at hand. It was about Nami, and to be honest, she's probably one of the weakest crew members on the ship. Nevertheless, she's pretty much in a pretty dire situation. She needs to fight against a pretty powerful foe, I'd say, at the very least, and she's alone. Zoro separated from her, and Zoro has to do his own thing. he cannot help. She's alone. We get this flashback, and it shows that she wants to improve herself, she wants to be able to defend herself, all that stuff. And that fight, well, it wasn't the most amazing fight. Few things really stuck out. One, she won, which was really nice. Number two, she doesn't require any other outside assistance in order to assist her in her victory, unlike some other characters. But you know what the deal breaker is? The real deal breaker. Nami is actually an interesting character, or at the very least, someone that is not annoying to watch. She has a very nice backstory, very tragic may I add, very emotional. I can get with that. I can egg this character on for her to progress in a positive way. Also, if you didn't even really like Nami at all, that doesn't matter. She's the navigator on the ship. Without her, they're all pretty much lost at sea. In Sakura's case, this doesn't work. Even if she accomplishes anything, which rarely happens again, there's nothing to latch onto. There's nothing that I egg this character on. The only time I only root for her is when her goal aligns with like something like Naruto's goal, like I mentioned earlier in the video, where she helps revive him and not let him die. I only cared about that because I didn't want to see anything bad happen to Naruto where he could end up dead. At this point, I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over again. I'm sure there could be multiple flaws you can find with her. Trust me, there's plenty of videos and opinions on the internet about her. She's pretty much garnered such a terrible reputation within the series.